Hello everyone, my name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Seder. Today we are talking about Waistcoats and Weaponries, book the third in the Finishing School series by Gail Carriger. Alright, I just have to start by saying that I absolutely loved this book, and while I did absolutely love this book, I am very conflicted on how this book ended. But either way, it was still truly amazing, and I have a massive book hangover. I cannot believe we have to wait till October for Manners and Mutiny. I just don't know what I am going to do with myself, but I digress. I shall find a way to go on. So let's get started. So this time around, the setting was not Mademoiselle Geraldine's. Instead, we have Sophronia and Dimity planning to attend Sophronia's brother's engagement ball. And of course, they are met by Dimity's brother Pillover and, get ready to swoon, Felix Mersey. Now, I loved that right off the bat we were going someplace different because it was a nice change of pace, and throughout the story there weren't so many background characters, so we were kind of able to get a lot of character development for the main characters that it was being focused on. But of course, before they can go to the ball, they find out that Sigheg has received some troubling news concerning her pack back home, and she runs off with Captain Nile to go confront it. And this was kind of interesting. It seemed like the problems with Sigheg were going to be the A storyline, but it was more of the B storyline and just kind of provided what was going on, which I did like. It gave them a reason for what they were doing, but it wasn't the main focus. So of course, later on, when they're at the ball, Sigheg storms in and informs Sophronia that her pack has committed treason behind Lord Macone's back, and they were plotting to kill Queen Victoria. So since Lord Macone was outraged, he kills the beta who was in charge of this plot and abandons his pack and leaves to become the alpha of the Wolsey pack. Now, Sigheg went to go confront him to tell him not to abandon family, but he stood by his choice and he is not going back. So Sigheg, the Duin, and Captain Nile are going to try and solve this problem. Now, the Duin and Captain Nile wanted Sigheg to stay out of it, thus why she goes to Sophronia. And naturally, Sophronia is going to help her, so she, Dimity, Sigheg, Felix, and Soap, yes, Soap, all go and hijack a train that they are going to take to Scotland. So they find out that the train is actually controlled by Westminster vampires, and they seem to be trailing an airship up in the sky. And when we find out what is really going on, I'll tell you, my head was spinning. I was constantly asking questions, trying to figure out what was going on. It is at this point in the book where Sophronia starts asking a lot of questions, like who is good and who is evil, and what side should she really be on? Should she side with the supernaturals, or are the Picklemen really not all that bad? And this is very hard for Sophronia to decide on because she finds out that she is entirely neutral. She really just wants there to be balance, where no side is more powerful than the other. And I find this a very admirable quality in Sophronia because she recognizes that both sides have good things and both sides have bad things. There is no black and white. It's all very gray, and I tend to see things this way, so it was very nice to see it written out and to see somebody else who thinks like this. And her decision is ultimately pressured by the love triangle, because as we find out, Soap wishes to become indentured to werewolves to raise his social standing, and Sophronia at first is not happy about this at all, but she does decide to kind of let him do his own thing because she doesn't want to be what stops him from doing what he wants. And then we also have Felix, whose father is, of course, a pickleman, and so she's not quite sure if she can trust him, so she does decide to try and make him see things her way. And I didn't really like that she tried to change him, but I do like that she tried to show him that he has a choice. He doesn't have to follow his father if he doesn't want to. But I'm still not quite sure where it's going to end out. I would like it, when it's all said and done, I'd like to see Sophronia honestly end up with no one and side with no one, because she is very independent and she is her own person, and I think being tied down just isn't good for her. She should be able to think how she wants and do what she wants, and I think coming out of this completely independent would be the best course of action. So skipping ahead a little bit, we discover that the Picklemen are behind the mechanical failure that we see at the beginning of the book and are planning to put a guidance valve in every household mechanical, which will in turn create their own sleeper army, and basically they will have control over all of London. And this kind of came as a shock to Sophronia, and basically the whole thing is being orchestrated by the Duke of Goburn, which is Felix's father. So this does raise a lot of questions about where Felix's allegiances lie and all that fun conspiracy stuff. She is still kind of wanting Felix to pick her side, but I think she kind of gives up when she finds out that Felix did rat them out to his father. But I personally think he ratted them out because who knows what his father is capable of. His father dictates who he can be friends with and everything he does. I don't think we fully understand what kind of hold Felix's father has over him. So I'm not ready to write him off just yet. I think we're going to see more of him in the next book, and I certainly hope we do. But anyway, in the big climactic scene, Soap is shot, and it is fatal. And this ultimately is what makes Sophronia hate the Picklemen. She is now fully on the side of the supernaturals. She is going to do anything it takes to stop the Picklemen from what they're planning. And this kind of worries me because I liked in the middle of the book how they were talking about how no side has clean hands. Both sides have done bad things and neither one is totally good. So now that her mentality has kind of shifted, I'm a little worried at what this might drive her to do. But anyway, to save Soap, she bargains with the Duin to bite him, and in exchange for that, she will indenture herself to him once she's finished with school, which is, of course, officially aligned her with the werewolves. So no Lord, his name's escaping me. I won't be able to pronounce it anyway. No Vampire Lord, no nothing. Her patron is going to be the Duin, and she is going to serve him once she's out of school. And now Soap is a werewolf, and Sidhay and Captain Nile are engaged because Captain Nile is going to be the new alpha of the King Heir pack, which I kind of thought was kind of funny that Sidhay is coming out engaged in all of this, and her relationship with Captain Nile was kind of in the background, but it was still entertaining all the same, especially the ending scenes, which I got a huge laugh out of. And like I said, Sophronia is going to do whatever it takes to thwart the Picklemen, which does lead us wide open. Anything can happen in the next book. So overall, I very much enjoyed this book, obviously, because I have a massive, massive book hangover. Like, I was looking through my library online to see what to listen to next, and I just couldn't even decide on one because I was still living in this book's world, and I have a feeling that I probably won't even enjoy the book that I picked because I am so invested in the Finishing School series right now. Needless to say, I am very, very excited for Manners and Mutiny to come out, and I will definitely be trying to get my hands on that one as soon as possible. So, tell me, dear listener, what did you think of this book? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you Team Soap? Are you Team Felix? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. Next up on deck is, it might be Lost in Babylon. I am about 60% done with it. It is slower going for me because I'm not listening to it. Normally when I listen to a book, I listen to it in the car because I am commuting to a summer class right now, which allows me to finish it much faster than reading a regular book. So the next review is either going to be Lost in Babylon or a new book that I just checked out, which is called The History of the Future. It is about a girl who is at a critical time in her life. She's not quite sure what she wants to do in the future, and lots of crazy things happen. It's supposed to be very philosophical and kind of weird, but nonetheless, I do think it will be good. It is rather short, so I think only a couple trips in the car and I will be done with it. But either way, I won't even be starting that till Monday, so hey, I might finish Lost in Babylon over the weekend, and if I do, I can start A Wicked Thing, which I am very excited to read. So I will see you guys next time.